Hi, I'm Emily Carter, 32, from Portland, Oregon. When I became a mum, I promised myself one thing, that my daughter, Lily, would always know she was safe and loved. But last spring, something happened that shattered that sense of safety completely. Something I never thought my own family could do. They took my baby, my 1-year-old daughter, on a trip. Without asking, without telling me. And the worst part, they didn't even think they'd done anything wrong. After Lily was born, my husband, Mark, and I went through some rough months, sleepless nights, financial stress, and all the chaos that comes with being new parents. His parents, especially his mum, Janet, were very involved. Maybe too involved. She'd always say things like, "Emily, you're such a nervous mom," or, "You should let Grandma handle things. I've done this before." It was always framed as help, but it never felt like help. It felt like control. Whenever I tried to set boundaries, Mark would defend her. "She just wants to help," he'd say. "You know how she is." So I tried to stay polite. I tried to be understanding. But deep down, I knew. She didn't see Lily as my child. She saw her as hers. Then, one Friday morning, everything changed. I woke up to the sound of silence. No baby monitor noises, no soft giggles, just silence. I walked into Lily's nursery and froze. The crib was empty. At first, I thought maybe Mark had taken her out early, but as I checked each room, panic began to rise in my chest. I called her name, my voice breaking, my heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. And then I saw it, a note on the kitchen counter. It was from Janet. "Took Lily to the coast for the weekend. Don't worry, Grandma's got her. You could use the rest." My legs almost gave out. The coast? That was 3 hours away. I grabbed my phone and called her immediately. No answer. Then I called Mark. Voicemail. I tried every number I could think of. Nothing. I stood there in the kitchen holding that stupid note, my hands shaking so hard I could barely read the words. My baby was gone, and no one had even thought to tell me. Hours later, Mark finally called back. I was hysterical. He, on the other hand, sounded calm. Too calm. "Emily, calm down," he said. "They just went to the beach house. Mum thought you could use a break." "A break?" I shouted. "You think taking my baby without asking me is a break?" He tried to reason with me, but I hung up and called the police. I didn't know what else to do. When the officer arrived, I told him everything, every detail, my voice trembling. He listened carefully, then said, "Technically, since your in-laws are family and there's no custody issue, this isn't considered a kidnapping." I stared at him, stunned. "So, they can just take her?" He sighed. "It's wrong, but not illegal. Let's just make sure she's safe." They tracked Janet's phone and confirmed she was at the coast. The officer called her and told her she needed to bring Lily home immediately. And do you know what? She sounded annoyed. Annoyed that anyone would dare question her. When she finally pulled into our driveway that evening, she got out smiling like nothing had happened. "Oh, Emily, don't be so dramatic," she said as she handed me my daughter. "We just had a little adventure." She loved the ocean. Lily was fine, tired, sandy, clutching a tiny seashell in her little hand. But I wasn't fine. My hands were shaking as I took her back. I looked Janet straight in the eyes and said, "You had no right." She just shrugged. "I raised 3 kids. I think I know what I'm doing." That night, after I put Lily to bed, I sat in the dark living room shaking. I could still hear Janet's words echoing in my head. Mark came home and tried to apologize, but his words meant nothing. I looked at him and said quietly, "If you can't protect your daughter, I will." The next morning, I called a lawyer. I filed paperwork ensuring that no one, not even family, could take Lily anywhere without my written consent. When Janet found out, she exploded. She called me ungrateful, said I was tearing the family apart. But I didn't care, because a mother's job isn't to keep the peace, it's to keep her child safe. Months later, things are calmer now. Mark finally understood how deep that betrayal went, and we've set firm boundaries. No unsupervised visits, no overnights, no exceptions. Janet still tries to guilt trip me, but I've learned to stand my ground. Sometimes, when I watch Lily sleep, I think back to that awful day, the fear, the helplessness, the way my heart felt like it might never recover. But it also changed me. It made me stronger. Because here's what I know now. Motherhood isn't about being perfect. It's about protecting what's precious, even if it means standing alone. They took my baby once, but they'll never take her from me again.